part of planning, part 2, and under this we will be discussing strategic planning. The learning objectives of the session are: understand the strategic planning and its process, enable the application of MBO, learn to analyze an organization's environmental factor. So first of all, we will discuss what is strategy planning. Before that, we need to understand that companies make three types of plans. These are annual plans, long run plans, and strategic plans. The annual plan is a short term marketing plan that covers 1 year. The long range plan lays down the major factors and forces that will have a bearing upon the organization during the next several years. Strategic plan is a document used to communicate with the organization the organizational goals, the actions needed to achieve those goals, and all of the other critical elements developed during the planning exercise. Strategic planning is the process of developing and maintaining a strategic fit between the organization's goals and capabilities and its changing marketing opportunities. Strategic planning forms the basis of other planning jobs of the firm, and it depends on identifying a clear company mission, setting supporting company objectives, designing a sound business portfolio, and coordinating the functional strategies. The strategic planning process culminates in the development of a strategic plan document that serves as the organization's collective roadmap. So we have already discussed that planning itself is a roadmap for achieving objectives. An effective strategic planning process is required for all organizational processes, from human resource policy implementation to financial growth goals. The three key elements of strategic planning are related to based on the questions: where is your business now, where do you want to take it, and what do you need to do to get there. The steps in the strategic planning process are: first step is analyze your business environment. So under the business environment, you need to know who are your competitors, what relevant market data do you have, and what do you still need. What technology has emerged that impacts your business model? How have customer expectations changed since your first strategic plan? What advantages do you have over competitors? What is your company weaker compared where is your company weaker compared to competitors? The second step is set your strategic direction. What is your overall business purpose? How have your operations reflected your purpose and goals recently? How should your operations reflect your purpose and goals? Where do you see your business going in the next year, 2 or 3 years? The third step is set and develop strategic goals and strategic objectives. So under this, the organization has to ask, have you considered short, mid and long term goals, and what are they? How does your strategic goal reflect your mission statement? How do your strategic goals reflect your company values and vision? The fourth step is exercise upon department level objectives. What are specific department concerns? How will your budget influence and be influenced by your strategic goals and objectives? Fifth step is manage and analyze performance. What are your metrics for measuring performance and success? Have you clearly articulated and shared KPIs, that is key performance indicators? And sixth step is review and develop your strategic plan. On a quarterly basis, determine which KPIs your team has met and how you can continue to meet them, adapting your plan as necessary. On an annual basis, it is important to reevaluate your priorities and strategic position to ensure that you stay on track for success in the long run. Management by objective is one of the way of strategic planning, and management by objectives, popularly known as MBO, is a strategic approach to enhance the performance of an organization. It is a process where the goals of organization are defined and conveyed by the management to the members of organization with the intention to achieve each objective. The model is based on Peter Drucker's book, The Practice of Management, published in 1954. In this model, emphasis is laid on transparency and ease of communication Superiors and subordinates together take part in goal setting. The sole concept behind this management model is clarity. When employees have clarity about the goals, they are more efficient at meeting them. So, the spirit of this strategic approach is the togetherness of superior and subordinating, discussing and mutually deciding upon the goals. The features of MBO are goal orientation, resource optimization, systems approach, key result area and participation. So, the process of MBO here is shown in this picture. First step is define organization goals, and on the basis of those organization goals define employee objectives. So, in every functional area, every department, the individual employees are given the task responsibility, and those are basically follow up through to their objectives of individual. Then next it would be continue monitoring performance and progress. So, in MBO, right from the beginning, at every step the monitoring takes place so that the progress is being made in the right direction, and after that or in between the process the feedback is provided. Finally, the performance appraisal and evaluation is done and the corrective measures are taken. So, if we elaborate the steps of process of MBO, the step 1 decides company heads determine or revise the current goal of the organization. In step 2, as soon as the goals are set, the company should determine how to reach them. This analysis will list out the objectives. The employees will have specific objectives depending on their position. It is recommended to design only 1 to 3 objectives per person. Step 3, the process should be monitored at all times as it prevents the management from losing track of progress. This is what we have already discussed. In step 4, for evaluating performance, the firms should use solid metrics, means standards or benchmarks against which the performance will be evaluated. Firms should focus on the key performance metrics used from the beginning itself. Step 5 comprises that all employees must get a clear response on their performance, and success should be rewarded and failures need to be addressed and corrective measures to be taken. The next strategic approach is SWOT. So, all of us are familiar with the SWOT. The SWOT framework is credited to Albert Humphrey, who tested the approach in the 1960s and 70s at the Stanford Research Institute. So, SWOT is basically a framework used to evaluate a company's competitive position and to develop the strategic plan. SWOT analysis were originally developed for business and based on data from Fortune 500 companies. This framework was developed for identifying and analyzing an organization's strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. And now in the advanced version of this SWOT, it has become SWOP, where threat is replaced with challenges. The primary goal of SWOT analysis is to increase awareness of the factors that go into making a business decision or establishing a business strategy. SWOT analyzes the internal and external environment and the factors that can impact the viability of the decision. So, if we discuss the SWOT analysis in detail, the elements of SWOT analysis examine 4 types of elements. Internal attributes and resources that support a successful outcome, that is a diverse product line or loyal customers or strong customer service. Internal factors and resources that make success more difficult to attain, that is a weak brand or excessive debt or inadequate staffing or training. So, basically strengths and weaknesses are internal attributes and factors of every organization. So, the strength of the organization also lies within itself, and the weakness of the organization also lies within the organization, and the examples we have already discussed. Opportunity and threat are to be considered as external factors and attributes. So, external factors that the organization can capitalize on or take advantage of, that is opportunities, favorable export tariffs, tax incentives, or new enabling technologies. External factors that could risk the entity's success, that is threats, increasing competition, weakening demand, or an uncertain supply chain. So basically, strengths are what your company does well and that you should build upon. So basically, while identifying strengths, the organization need to ask, what do you want to build on? Weaknesses are internal barriers that limit or interfere with reaching the desired future state. So, the organization to identify weakness must ask that what do you need to shore up. Opportunities are external forces your organization is well positioned to act and benefit upon. So, the organization need to know what do you want to capitalize on. Threats are external forces or barriers that may prevent you from reaching your objectives. Means the organization need to ask, what do you need to mitigate? So, by doing the SWOT analysis, the organization can do the accurate strategic planning, prioritizing effectively. So, how to do a SWOT analysis? So, till now we have identified the strengths, weakness, opportunity and threat of the organization. Now, how to analyze through these? The step-by-step guide to do a SWOT analysis is: gather the team together, set up your quadrants on a whiteboard or projector where you can very clearly write down what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are opportunities and what are threats. Start with strengths. Ask the questions pertaining to strength, that what you have identified is strength, how it is going to help you capitalize on your opportunities. Follow suit with weakness, opportunity and threat. The same task has to be repeated with weakness, opportunities and threats. Organize the information collected into a neat and tidy document. Send out to the team with notes. Organize a second meeting to come up with action items and owners taking up the responsibility. So, this is all in the part 2 of planning, where we have discussed strategic planning and the two very popular approaches to strategic planning. Thank you so much, and the questions may be discussed in the discussion.